What if I told you that the most exciting motorcycle of 2026 isn't some futuristic electric machine or a track-focused superbike? It's a bike that looks like it's just rolled out of 1946. Yeah, you heard that right. Welcome back to Motometrics, and today we are talking about the all-new 2026 Indian Chief Vintage, a motorcycle that somehow makes the past feel more thrilling than the future. And before we get into the meat of this review, I want you to stick around till the very end, because there's one thing about this bike that nobody's really talking about, and it might just be the most important thing to know before you even think about walking into a dealership. Let's get into it. Indian motorcycle has been around for 125 years. Let that number sink in for a second. 125 years. That's older than most countries' aviation industries. That's older than the NFL. That's older than sliced bread. And yes, I'm completely serious about that last one. So when Indian says they're celebrating their 125th anniversary with a brand new model, you'd better believe they brought something special to the table. The 2026 Indian Chief Vintage is that something special. Now, the first thing that's going to hit you when you lay eyes on this bike is the design. And honestly, hit is the right word. This thing is stunning. Indian went back and drew direct inspiration from their iconic Chiefs of the 1940s. And the result is a motorcycle that looks like it belongs in a museum and on a highway at the same time. You've got those massive, flowing, valanced fenders that are stamped from a single sheet of steel, not plastic, not composite, actual steel, shaped and detailed by hand. The wire spoke wheels, the pullback vintage handlebars, the narrow silhouette. Every line on this bike tells a story. And then right there on the front fender, you've got the illuminated headdress ornament. That little detail has been a hallmark of Indian motorcycles since 1947, and seeing it glow at night, that's not a motorcycle feature, that's a piece of living history. But here's where things get interesting. Because you might be thinking, okay, it's a beautiful classic, but is it actually a good motorcycle to ride, or is it just a rolling art piece? Great question. And this is exactly where the Chief Vintage starts doing something really clever. Underneath all that gorgeous retro styling is the same modern platform shared across Indian's entire Chief lineup. The heart of this machine is the air-cooled Thunderstroke 116V Twin, an 1890cc engine that produces acclaimed 120 pound-feet of torque at just 2,900 RPM. Let me put that in perspective for you. You don't have to wind this engine out. You don't have to chase a power band. Before you're even really on the throttle, you've got all the twist you need to move 721 pounds of American steel with authority. It's the kind of power delivery that makes you feel like a legend pulling out of a stoplight, even if the guy next to you is in a minivan. And the three ride modes, Tour, Standard, and Sport, mean this isn't a one-trick pony. Tour for relaxed highway cruising, Standard for everyday riding, Sport for when you want to see what this vintage-looking machine is actually capable of. Spoiler, it corners better than you'd expect from a bike wearing fenders this big. The narrower 150 section rear tire versus the typical 180 on other Chiefs actually makes the Vintage more flickable in corners. A wolf in sheep's clothing? Maybe. Now let's talk tech, because this is where I know some of you classic bike purists are about to roll your eyes. Just bear with me. Indian put a 4-inch round touchscreen display on this thing, powered by their Ride Command system. And for 2026, the software got a full update. Startup and loading times are about 25% faster, and they've added something called App-Enhanced Navigation. What that means is you can search a destination on your phone through Google Maps, Waze, or Apple Maps and send it directly to your bike's display via Bluetooth. No fumbling with the screen while riding, no complicated menu systems. You set it on your phone, it shows up on your bike. That's genuinely smart, not just a checkbox feature. You also get keyless ignition, cruise control, full LED lighting, ABS, rear cylinder deactivation at low speeds, and Metzler Cruise Tech tires that are built for exactly the kind of mile-eating highway rides this bike was born to do. Oh, and did I mention the Pathfinder 5.75-inch adaptive LED headlight? It monitors lean angle and adjusts its beam to light up the road through corners. On a bike that looks like 1946, you've got a headlight that thinks like 2026. I love this industry sometimes. Now, here's the thing I promised you at the start of the video that nobody's really talking about. The price. The 2026 Indian Chief Vintage starts at $19,999. And yes, before you say it, that's nearly 20 grand. That's real money. But here's the context. If you're cross-shopping this against a Harley-Davidson Heritage Classic or a Softail Standard, you're in the same price neighborhood. The difference is what you get for it. The Chief Vintage comes standard with the Ride Command display, 3 ride modes, adaptive LED headlight, ABS, rear cylinder deactivation at low speeds, features that cost extra on comparable Harleys. Now, and this is important, the Chief Vintage does come solo. There's no passenger seat or saddlebags in the box. If you want to ride 2-up or carry gear, those are accessories you'll add separately. That's the one catch. For a pure solo rider who wants to cruise the American landscape in the most dramatic-looking way possible, this bike makes a very compelling case. For someone planning long 2-up tours, you'll want to factor in accessory costs. There's also a 125th anniversary edition, limited to just 250 units worldwide, starting at $24,999, with hand-painted details, exclusive anniversary badging, and a commemorative stitched seat. If you can get your hands on one, that's a collector piece, no question. So where does all of this leave us? The 2026 Indian Chief Vintage is one of those rare motorcycles that's actually greater than the sum of its parts. It's not the fastest bike Indian makes, it's not the most loaded with touring gear, but it is the most soulful. It takes everything that made the original Chief legendary, the look, the presence, the sheer Americanness of it, and wraps it around a modern machine that's genuinely capable, genuinely comfortable, and genuinely fun to ride. Indian didn't just build a retro bike, they built a statement. And in a world full of motorcycles that all start to look the same, that statement hits hard. If you're seriously considering this bike, go ride one. The feel of that Thunderstroke pulling from low RPM, the way those fenders catch the light, the sound of the exhaust, those are the things that don't show up in a spec sheet. Those are the things that make you want to keep riding. And speaking of things that make you want to keep riding, if you enjoyed this breakdown, I've got another video right over here that I think you're going to love. It's coming up on your screen right now. Hit it, and I'll see you in the next one.